Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Good evening and welcome to the MooCamp Radio Show, the MK Dons radio show that knows that we've still got 11 games left. And that's more than enough to overtake Preston and claim the second spot. Of course, next week when there's only 9, we'll probably reconsider, but to get us started this week, I'm rather chuffed and grateful for Mr. Gers to say that this is Morphene.
I hear a voice from the back of the room. I hear a voice cry out, you want something good. Well, come on a little closer, let me see your face. Yeah, come on a little closer by the front of the stage. Say, come on a little closer, I got something to say. Yeah, come on a little closer, wanna see your face. You see, I met a devil named Buena Buena, and since I met the devil, I've been the same. Oh no, and I feel alright now, I have to tell you, I think it's time for me to finally introduce you to the Buena Buena, Buena Buena, good, good, good. Coming to me. Yeah, it's coming to me. Now I think I know what it is you need. I know some people wanna make you change. Well, I know how to make it go away. You see, I met a devil named Buena Buena, and since I met the devil, I've been the same. Oh no, and I feel alright, I have to tell ya, I think it's time for me to finally introduce you to the Buena Buena, Buena Buena, good, good, good.
You're listening to the MooCamp Radio Show on Seclo Sounds, the MK Dons radio show that thinks we are still going up. And when we do, Robbo will be knighted by Winky in the end of season honours once the Queen has abdicated in his favour.
Champions.
Champions indeed. Didn't we talk about Winky taking over from the Queen at some point in the it might even been issue 1. I'm going to dig that out. Anyway, sorry. Back to the script. I am Brando, the man who this week was... I'd sat back and gawped in amazement at our fickle fan base turning on our manager the moment things stopped going well, albeit for an extended period. It's not big and it's not clever, but it seems to be what we're stuck with, so hi anyway. I'm joined by the man who was told by his wife this week that driving all the way to Walsall wouldn't be a good thing for a brand new car to do without having it run in first. So he's running it in with a trip to northern France instead for her birthday. Say hi, Modest.
Bonsoir and all that jazz.
I'm also joined by the man who this week is attempting to break his own record of consecutive shows by attending his second show in a row. beat that so-called Lieutenant Dan, and say hi, young Albie.
Good morning, human beings.
And lastly, I'm joined by the man who this week, following a trip to watch Ian McCulloch at the stables, announced that if he'd wanted to see a man drinking a pint of whiskey and abusing random strangers, could have just stayed at home and looked in the mirror. Say hi, Gers.
Evening.
Well, just like Carl Robbo Robinson, when you're explaining to him that starting Devante Cole as a lone striker, then hoofing high balls for him to head on to nobody in particular, isn't necessarily the greatest tactical idea, what you think's important to us. So, modders, can you please tell the boys and girls how they can go about getting in touch with us?
I can indeed. You can contact us by knowing what Section 26, Paragraph 5 of the Official Secrets Act refers to. I could tell you, but it's purely on a need-to-know basis. Or alternatively, you can use more conventional methods. You can contact us on Facebook, and we're at facebook.com/the MooCamp. You can tweet us, but use the hashtag the MooCamp during the show. You can email radio@moocamp.com. You can text 80085, but remember to start your message with, "The name's Bond, Buzzard Bond," or else it won't reach us.
Was he Irish?
He was, yeah, as well.
Okay.
Or you can text direct to the studio on 07848 930 396.
Excellent, thanks ever so much. Our long history of great impersonations continues.
Anyway, coming up the show this week, we'll have a negativity-free script. Yes, even with the current shenanigans on the pitch, each one of us has taken a vow of positivity and have each pledged to maintain it. Unless the autos become mathematically impossible, after that all bets are off. Anyway, coming up the show, we've got 10 reasons why we love Robbo's current team selections, 5 reasons why Ian McLaughlin is the saviour of our season, and our new feature, Deli Who? All that plus a usual mix of joy and hilarity. It really does promise to be a cracking show.
This just in the latest of his big days out, Andrew Call Me Andy Cullen has today announced to a less than packed press conference at Stadium that nearly happened. Stadium MK that we're introducing a brand new big day out, the Soulless Bowl Big Day Out experience, where from the comfort of your own padded seat you can report anyone that looks like they may be getting a tad overexcited via the medium of just a mobile phone. He further added, "We want this club to be the kind of place where sexism has no place. The sort of place where it's safe to bring your children. The sort of place where your kids can constantly go to the loo 3 or 4 times a half, pushing past everyone in their row repeatedly, in complete safety. Basically, we want MK to be the sort of place where you leave your personality at the gate.
Absolutely.
We've got no time for fun here. More on this when everyone at the concrete roundabout gets a life and a sense of humour."
Well, that worked really well, didn't
That
it?
was really subtle hand gestures that said, should we do it? We know how difficult it is to plan ahead without accurate forecasting, so we're proud to support the Bovril Forecast, brought to you by the lovely people at Forecast, telling the future one cup at a time. And the forecast for this week is tasting good to the last drop, subject to a price increase after April the 7th.
It's a circle that you seek. It's the MooCamp Roundabout of the week. It's the MooCamp Roundabout of the week.
As you all know, each week on the MooCamp Radio Show, I go out to see what's happening at one of the 3,426 beautiful roundabouts in Milton Keynes, and I pick one completely at random to describe to you in all of its splendour. So if you're sitting comfortably, here we jolly well go once more. This roundabout has 2, 3, 4 or 6 exits,
Hang on a
depending on
minute.
how you count them.
Shut up!
Not me.
Not him. We have some noise going on outside the studio that young Albie's about to go and abuse people to stop it.
Right.
Anyway, I should start that again.
Start that
This
again.
roundabout has 2, 3, 4 or 6 exits, depending on how you count them.
Ooh.
Its star sign would definitely be Gemini.
That's done me.
That cuts it down, actually. I reckon I'm
Well,
on the way.
12 at
You're not
least.
going to do what you did last week, are you?
And actually guess it right. No, probably not.
Could this be where they grow pottery? and the 11 to 5 is one of a dying breed. So,
No idea what that.
whereabouts is this week's Roundabout?
I know what it is.
Okay. Actually, just before we do this, who was it? Were they still out there making noise? Did you go out and enforce it, or did you just...
I put my finger to my
I
lip.
think the
Actually, I
official
battered them.
I think the official term is a fracas.
A fracas.
Ah, topical.
Yes, I'm sorry, we won't be on air next week due to the fracas that is about to take place. If only we had a producer, we could punch him in the face.
Yeah.
We're really good. Oh, my word, yes, right.
Here's the answer, what's the question? Here's the answer, what's the question? Here's the answer, what's the question?
Yes, indeed, it says the answer, what's the question? The point at which we give you the answer and you give us the question. And this week's answer is a simple one. It said, stranger things have happened, but it doesn't seem very likely anymore. Paul Harris, first-time listener, says, I can find the droids I'm looking for. Which I quite like, actually. Sue Ryan says, does Rocking Horse Bleep exist? David Carr says, Robbo will discover that Plan B is not just an English rapper.
Brilliant response,
Very
David.
good, David.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I like that. John Samuel says, will Keith ever kick another ball for the Dons? Stranger things have happened, but it doesn't seem very likely anymore. Paul Harris, first-time listener, says, my brother buys me a drink, which is possibly the least topical thing you could ever... I think, yeah, anyway. David Carr says, the fat lady will sing at Stadium MK at half-time. Paul Harris then says that I can put a Roundtree's fruit pastel in my mouth without chewing it. And to anyone not of a certain generation, that probably means nothing. But to the rest of us, we've got a tune going on there in our head right now. Oh, well, the only thing you can really do with a Roundtree's fruit pastel is chew.
Funnily enough, I get it.
Okay, there you go. So you're old enough. And Vince Bangs says, rather traditionally, will the MK Dons still get automatic promotion? So those are the ones. Well, I've got loads more, which I will come back to later on. Thankfully, not as many as last week, so I won't ignore the last 40 that Paul Harris sends in. But yes, for now, probably worth us saying, text and tweets, what do we got?
Thomas Woollerton says, OMG, Albie is famous. Carl from Coventry has texted in to confirm that he's happy doing work stuff or home stuff, but he'd rather be watching the Dons. Ray from Watford has texted in to say that he wishes he could get some more Dons matches. Sarah, who hasn't said where she's from, so we'll pretend that she's from Bogota. Sarah from Bogota?
Go for Bogota.
Bogota. Wants to know what she's doing in Columbia. Geoff from Luton says ha ha ha, and Shane from Central Milton, Meltdown Keynes says that Stuart from the Woolstones sounds like a complete bleep.
He did actually. He was last week. Couple of bits. What have I got? Scott McGregor. We mentioned that we were all in really bad moods tonight, and Scott McGregor said, just a bad mood. He's raging. MK Dons are currently like Austin Powers when he lost his mojo. We've lost ours, and we ain't going to find it before this season ends. There's a question, where has the Dons mojo gone? Clearly not happy with our question, he's inventing his own, so we may lose it. But it'll be back by next week anyway. He's also said, is it considered sad that he's 500 miles away from that lovely town of Milton Keynes, give or take a few inches, but is it considered sad that he's got all the kids away to bed so he can tune in on these dark days?
I tell you, I'm going to make a promise now. If he manages to get down before the start of next season from Scotland, I'm going to get him on this show.
Excellent, we'll have him on. Yeah, come on in, Scott. It's not, basically, we'll throw Albie out.
But I'll be out anyway. Never come in.
Got something else on this one. I've had a video posted.
Oh, video.
Let me just... I don't think you'll be able to hear this. Let me just put the news down for a second. I have no idea if I can play this live. If I can't, tell me quickly. This probably won't play. I don't think I've got any speakers. No, basically, we've got a video of a husky essentially telling us what they think of the show so far, but we haven't got any sound on the PC, so we really don't know. But I'm imagining that what the dog's saying is rather good, actually. Yeah. Okay, it must be time to do this.
Joke of the week.
What's red, black, and orange and sits in the stands?
We don't know.
What is red, black, and orange and sits in the stands?
Dean Lewington, after being rather naughty last week.
Indeed. Okay. I must say, the joke of the week is one of the highlights of my week
Yep.
at the